So if you're using casino offers to get fare-free cruises like I do, that's half the equation. How do you save even more money? My top tips are next. Hey, what's up? My name is Chris. Thank you for checking out my video today. If you're new to my channel, it's all about cruising using casino comps and spending a heck of a lot less, not paying for fare, getting discounts on other stuff and other great perks as well. I've got a ton of videos on my channel walking you through how you can start getting marketing offers, which are the cheapest offers you can get from all the cruise lines, so that you don't have to pay fare, which is a huge part, of course, of cruising. But that's not the only part. There's a lot of other expenses that go along with cruising. And my tips today that I'm going to share with you are the ways that I make it even cheaper to sail so that I can cruise about 10 times a year, maybe more if I'm lucky. Anybody who's been on a cruise and paid full fare, maybe gone with a friend or a family member, knows that it adds up. You know, if you're getting on a nice ship on a 7-night, you are paying thousands of dollars in cruise fare. And then you have to think about how you get to the ship. When you're on the ship, what are you paying for? Specialty dining, Wi-Fi, gratuities. If you're going on excursions, like cruising can be very, very expensive. You're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. So I stumbled on this quite by accident. I've been on cruises before. I kind of played in the casino. I've been on a few different lines. I really loved cruising and I wanted to cruise more, especially now that I live in Florida. But you know, it's just so expensive that I can only realistically see myself maybe cruising once a year. But I got lucky. I found out how to get all of these fare-free cruises. And as I've gone along, I've found other ways to kind of reduce the cost of sailing, which has allowed me to earn Diamond Plus on Royal Caribbean in like 3 years. And then also be on other cruise lines and build up, you know, loyalty there as well. And as I said, you know, cruise fare is a huge part of it. So eliminating that out of the equation is massive. There's a lot of other things that you have to pay for that really add up, and they can actually equal the amount you would pay in cruise fare. So when you add those two things together, it's a lot. So in order for me to cruise about once a month, I had to find ways to save money wherever I could. So these are my top tips that you can use if you want to cruise for even less. So my number one tip is build loyalty with the cruise lines. Now, my number one recommendation is do that with Royal Caribbean. The Crown and Anchor Society from Royal Caribbean, in my humble opinion, is the best loyalty program at sea. You get so many great perks once you get up into the Diamond level and above. You're getting free drinks around the ship. Diamond's 4 free drinks a day. Diamond Plus is 5 free drinks a day. Pinnacle is 6 free drinks a day. Plus you get things like free days of Wi-Fi. You get a bunch of other great discounts around the ship. And then when you pair that with Prime, which is the next level up from your base level on Club Royal, which is the casino program from Royal Caribbean, now you're getting free drinks when you're in the casino. So when you're thinking about a drinks package, that can be extremely expensive. You're looking at $60 to $100 a day, depending on the ship and sailing that you're on. So you're saving a big chunk of money right there. So definitely build your loyalty up. I personally would cruise on Royal as much as possible until you can get into that Diamond tier and even up into Diamond Plus to get those 2 free Wi-Fi days per sailing. So we might as well just move right into Wi-Fi since I was talking about it. My methodology on like a 4 or 5 night cruise is to not buy the Wi-Fi package. If you need to buy the Wi-Fi package, I'd highly recommend you buy it before you sail. It's going to be a lot cheaper. It's almost half price if you can find it on sale. However, if you've got Diamond Plus, you get 2 free Wi-Fi days. So what I do on, let's say, a 4-night is I use my 2 free days. Then I buy the second 2 days. I go to the Voom desk and I apply my 30% Prime discount. I end up saving a ton on Wi-Fi. Alternatively, if you don't need to be connected when you're on a cruise, don't buy Wi-Fi. It's so expensive. It's about $18 to $25 if you buy it before you get on the ship. And then if you buy it on the ship, it's $32 now per day. That's a lot of money. Now, if you only want to be connected a little bit when you're on your sailing, an eSIM might be a really good alternative for you. Something like GigSky or Cellular at Sea, they all have programs where you use the ship's cell tower in order to access your internet. The one thing I will say about that though is you need a clear line of sight to the sky for these to work. So you need to be on your balcony, you need to be on the pool deck, any interior space, your data will not work. So like I said, if you want to be on a couple times a day, you can buy a really economical plan. And then if you want to get on for a little while, go hang out on the Lido deck and do your thing, and then you get what you need, right? Another benefit of GigSky is it will provide data for you when you're in port. It's like covers so many different countries that, if you want that added security when you're, say, in Mexico or the Caribbean or even Europe, you can get one of these plans so that you have data if your normal phone carrier does not provide that. So Wi-Fi can be a big savings for you if you do it right. We already covered free drinks. Although I will say, on other cruise lines, it may not be quite as good. So for instance, with Princess and with Carnival, often your casino offers will come with free drinks in the casino, but you need to order your drinks from a waiter. So if you're not a big drinker, you like to have a couple of drinks when you're playing in the casino and maybe a couple other drinks around the ship, you don't really need to get a drinks package. I think that this would be an economical option for you. Now, if you're on Princess, it's definitely worth it to get Princess Plus. If you don't know what Princess Plus is, it is an add-on, a daily charge, $65 a day. You can also get Princess Premier. I think it's $90 a day, but I'm not 100% sure. That gets you unlimited specialty dining plus everything that you get with Princess Plus. Princess Plus is great. It gives you free Wi-Fi, prepaid gratuities, free drinks everywhere around the ship, 2 specialty desserts per day, 2 casual dinings per sailing, and some other stuff like free fitness classes and stuff like that. So when you add all of those things together, if you're on Princess, it really makes a lot of sense to get Princess Plus. Now, if you're pairing that with a comped cruise, now you're really looking at a great value. And that's why I think Princess is one of the best values at sea if you're earning marketing offers. Skip specialty dining. If you don't have any offers that include specialty dining, don't do it. It's really expensive. It's kind of a trap. I mean, do what you want if you're a foodie, but keep in mind, a lot of these restaurants are like $35 a day and up. So if you're doing a specialty dining every day, that is definitely going to add up. There are a lot of great places to eat on many ships, and you just have to know where they are, what they offer. I do recommend, watching some YouTube videos of the ship you're planning on going on, checking out all the great places. For instance, if you're on an Oasis class ship, everybody tends to go to Windjammer on embarkation day. Stay far away. Number one, Windjammer, it's mid-food. It's not bad, but it's not great. But try the Solarium Bistro. Most people who are new do not even know about it, and they don't know that it's got buffet-style food, but it's upgraded. It's got like tapas and other really interesting stuff that you can order, and it's going to be a lot quieter and just a better option on day one. Now, if you're on an Icon class ship, there's so many options for free food. There's really no reason to get specialty dining. You can go to Base Camp, you can go to El Loco Fresh. There are a ton of places that you can eat for free without paying that big bill. Skip excursions. Excursions are extremely expensive, especially if you buy them through the cruise lines. You're looking at like $60 for a small excursion, into the hundreds depending on what you're doing. There's a lot you can do in port without paying for an excursion, especially if it's your first time at port. There's a lot to explore, and you can do it by yourself. Just do research, like I say, know where you're going, know the safety things, know what the pitfalls might be. Just plan ahead, and you're going to be well prepared to do something fun in port without paying that huge price tag. Now, if you really want to do an excursion, like if you want to go see, a landmark, or you want to go do a fun activity that you know that area is famous for, you can actually do it for a lot less than what the cruise line's going to charge you for. You can do some research and you can actually get these directly from the operator of the excursion. I did some scuba diving. I learned how to scuba dive and did some scuba diving in St. Martin, and I paid half price from what I would have paid through Royal Caribbean. And the best part was I had people on our ship that were doing the same thing. Because I did my research, I found out who the operator was, and I paid a heck of a lot less. The bonus in this instance was I knew the ship was not going to leave without me, because the people I was with bought their excursion through Royal Caribbean. And that's one of the guarantees and the safe things about excursions through the cruise line, is that you are protected from being left at the port if something happens, a bus breaks down or something like that. So that was an extra layer of insurance. But a lot of these excursion operators have guarantees. So let's say something wild happens and you do miss your ship, they will actually fly you to the next port and take care of everything. But again, as long as you do your due diligence, this is a pretty safe play. Here's one that's gotten me before. Make sure you pack everything that you need. I have a Google Keep list that's got all of the things I need to bring on a cruise. And then every time I go on a cruise, I go through it. I make sure it's packed. I check it off just to be sure, because a couple of times I haven't used it and I've forgotten stuff like toothpaste and a toothbrush. I forgot my shaver. And you know that everything on a cruise ship is so expensive. You're paying 3-4 times what it would cost you on land for, shaving cream and a razor or whatever it is you have forgotten. Ibuprofen. Do not forget all of these things, because they will get you. Park off site. So I don't follow this one. I probably should. You can save a ton of money. For instance, Port of Miami, if you park at the port, it's $35 a day. It's insane. You can find offsite parking for like $7, $10, $12 a day, and that's going to include a shuttle. As with excursions, you really need to do your due diligence on this one, because there are all different types of parking operators. Some of them are a lot more reputable than others. Your car might not be as safe as you would like, and some, the shuttles aren't very reliable. So there are a lot of places that you can go, like Cruise Critic or Trustpilot, YouTube videos, to really see the parking operators that will keep your car safe and have a really reliable shuttle option. You can save a lot of money, especially over like a 7-night cruise, by parking this way. Reprice, reprice, reprice. If you buy things before you go on cruise, which I do recommend you do. Like, let's say you don't have Diamond, you need to buy the Wi-Fi package through Royal. I recommend getting all of these things right away. As soon as you book, get it right away, because you don't know what the price is going to end up being. But the good news is, if you set yourself a reminder to check weekly, or if you check your emails when they have a sale, if it becomes cheaper, you can reprice that Wi-Fi or whatever that thing might be. You cancel the one that you bought, you buy it again, and you have saved money. So I do recommend getting it right away and then keeping an eye on the prices as you go. Cruise line credit card. This is one I wish I would have gotten a long time ago. A lot of them have the bonus where if you spend a certain amount of money when you open the card in a certain amount of time, you'll get like 30,000 points, which ends up being $300 worth of onboard credit. I use my Royal Caribbean Visa for everything, for groceries, for gas. Every purchase I make, I just throw it on the card, pay the card off, earn those points. And I end up with $100 or more on almost every cruise in free onboard credit. This is definitely helping me keep my costs down a little bit, and I highly recommend you get it. Finally, don't over gamble. I have a video on my channel figure out your why for gambling before you start, before you even get on the ship, and then stick to it. And what I mean by that is, if you're going for an instant certificate, figure out how you're going to do that. An instant certificate gets you an instant free cruise, sometimes with free play, depending on what ticket level you get. Now, that's not something that I recommend you do. I recommend you do marketing offers, and those are based on time spent. Like I said, I've got a ton of videos on my channel showing you how you can spend less in the casino and still earn these marketing offers. But what I would say about this is, by over gambling, let's say you've hit your goal, whatever that might be, time spent, points earned towards Prime, whatever that thing might be. You might be tempted to gamble more, but I say if you want to keep your costs down, leave the casino. Or, with Royal, if you've got Prime, you've got free drinks, hang out at the bar and talk to people. But you can go, do a ton of things around the ship. There's a lot you can do outside of the casino. And of all these things that I recommend to you, the casino is potentially the biggest pitfall that's going to make your cruise more expensive. So know what you're doing in the casino, stick to your budget, and be disciplined. And that's going to go a very long way in making your overall cruises a lot cheaper. So my gold standard for cruising is $100 a day spent net. That's gambling, that's Wi-Fi, travel, all of those things. If I can get it to $100 a day, I've kind of hit the jackpot. Now, that's not super realistic. I think a realistic goal is probably $150 a day. If you can stay within $150 a day, considering all of your travel and everything you spend on the ship, all of your gambling, I think you're doing really, really well. And that's going to allow you to cruise more. I know it allows me to cruise a lot more and not totally blow my budget. So what do you think? Do you do some of these things? Do you have tips or tricks that you can share with me that I'm not doing? I'd love to see them. Throw them in the comments below. As always, I really appreciate you watching these videos. Throwing a like on them gets them out to more people, and I can share my methods and hopefully get more people cruising for a lot less. Of course, if you like the content, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks again.